Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 1 deadline stream. We are exactly 2 hours away from the very first deadline of the season. There's been lots of tinkering going on, a big pre-season, and it's been a huge day today. I was doing a press conference stream 2.5 hours ago. I'm back now, 2 hours to get prepared, and I'm really, really excited for the Gameweek 1 deadline. It feels like Christmas Day. It doesn't get much better than this. So in the stream today, I'm going to be mainly focusing on answering all of your questions because I didn't answer that many earlier, and I know you've probably got lots that you want answering. I'm also going to be keeping an eye on the tweet deck, or X Pro as it's called now, to see if we can get any early team leaks for the Man City game, because things could definitely change. If you're in here, make sure you're hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. It's been phenomenal support all pre-season. If we can get the stream to 100 likes, let's aim for that to start with, and we'll see how we go. But very excited. If you're in, come and say hello in the chat. Jamie has very kindly agreed to mod on the stream today, which is brilliant. So hopefully that can sort out any spamming issues and help me to get through as many of your questions as possible. I think you need to be subbed to ask a question. So go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I'll go say hello in the chat in a moment, but I do want to skip over first to my team for game week 1. I think is locked. I'm pretty sure it's locked. I've just seen Linford said that he's happy to mod as well, so that's brilliant. Have a few of you guys on it. Yeah, I think I'm locked. This team, I think I settled on this draft on Sunday. Then on Tuesday, I think I put out the team selection video. It hasn't changed since, and Bomo's lost his flag, which is great. I feel like I'm just seeing, I can see my webcam, and I think it's to do with the lighting. I've gone a bit weird. Let me see, is that better? I think I'm gonna have to just update this, else I'm gonna look a bit crazy, and it'll do my head in even if it doesn't do your head in. Right. Let me just concentrate. I think if I knock that down, that's better. We're sorted. Are we sorted there as well? Sorry about this, guys. I'm just trying to get it to look as good as possible for you guys. Yeah, I think we're okay now. Yeah, so the player I'm least invested in is Madison. He was a late addition. I kind of got talked into the hype, and now Madison's gone. Sorry, now Kane's gone. I'm wondering about Madison, but I think the conclusion I've come to is that it shouldn't affect him in terms of his output. He could even get to be a better asset, potentially on pens. So I think I'm going to hold firm with him, but going into the stream, what I'm thinking is, I've got a 7.5 million spot in midfield that I'm not locked in on. City team news, Foden, Grealish. There could be a change there. Could even go down to Eze, have $1 million in the bank. Shall I put it to a poll? Madison, question mark. Get your input. I'll be answering lots of your questions today, so why not help me out? Hopefully the blue tint in my hair's gone. Oh dear. Right, so if I head over to the chat, I'm on the chat already, that's fine. Lots of you in already. I can see Ollie is in, Amelia is in, Jamie is modding, Village is in, Football, Karim, Champs, Ivan is in. He says, hi Holly, great to be back for another season, let's go. Thanks for being a member, Sam. It's great to have your support. Mahomed is in, Jason, Champs, William, Light Rays, good to see you again. Cav is in, as is Killerat, new member today. Also gifted a load of memberships, so You've gone straight up there as one of my favourite members. Nelson is in as well, and a whole load more of you. So it's great to see so many of you supporting. It's 137 of you in already, which is crazy. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure to hit that like button. We're trying to get to 100 likes to start with. So if you haven't done already, Football says I need to design my kit. Yeah, probably do. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's that Madison decision is the one that's plaguing me at the moment. So I am interested to get your thoughts on that one. And also I'm going to answer your questions as well. I only realised today that you can add moderators on like within the stream, within the chat on YouTube, which is great. But it's taken me till today to realise that. But it's a learning curve, this YouTube content. I'm just going to keep going with it. It's been a mad pre-season, so it's great. You're smashing the like button now. Thank you, guys. We're up to 55. Let's keep it going. So, as I said then, I'm going to come off the chat so that you can see everything bigger. The focus today is to go through your questions. As I said, the tweet deck, or as it's called, X Pro, is open. So if anything happens, any team news comes, we've got it covered. Obviously, if you see any team news, let me know in the chat as well. I think the deadline stream has been tweeted as well, or posted. It's taken me a while to get used to it. Sherry-Ann says, so you are Team Salah? I am. I think I'm happy with this draft. The only player that I wish I had that I don't have is Bruno Fernandes, who could punish me in the opening few weeks. I did run it through the AI team rating on Fantasy Football Hub. You can do this as well. I'll tell you, I think the link is in the description, but I'll also pin it as well. What I'm going to do is just show you how this works in terms of my team. So I've got my team rated on Fantasy Football Hub. It's given me a team rating of 97% with a game week rating of 94%. Tricky fixtures for some of my players in game week 1. I'm ignoring the suggestion of playing Baldock over Chilwell, but then game week 2, my game week rating goes up to 100%. Game week 3 at 98%, game week 4 at 100. So I should be well set in the early weeks of the season, in theory. It does give me some recommended transfers, and you can also take a look at the AI team as well. So if this is the first FPL stream you've ever watched and you're stuck on what to do, go and hit that link to get your team rated. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll pin it. So that you can keep an eye on it, but it'll give you some recommendations of things to do. It'll also give you, and this is an interesting one, I'm going to be running the AI team for Hub this season, basically following what their robot suggestions are. It's a really nice feature to keep an eye on. But yeah, I'm fairly happy. Just having a look at the poll, 33% say Madison, 66% say no Madison. That is interesting. So it's something I'm going to keep an eye on. We'll leave it open for a bit longer, just to get all your views. We're on 64 likes now, so if we can get that up to 100 likes, that would be amazing. 165 of you in. Let's get on then to answering some of your questions. Mahmood says Foden or Jota. For me, both are rotation risks. So I think if I was going for a midfielder priced at 7.5 million, they wouldn't be the first two picks that I would go for. In terms of the predictions on the Hub, Madison comes out top at that price point over the first 4 game weeks, followed by Mbomo, Matoma, March, Sterling, Eze, Richarlison. Have to go down to 8th to get to Foden, and Jota is a lot further down. Now the thing... Wait, where? Oh, I may need to... Is Jota 8? I think he is, isn't he? I think if you've got 8, hang on, let me check. I think if you've got 8, you can afford to, he's in Diogo, isn't he? Yeah, he's 8. I think if you've got 8, brings other players into the question, but, you know, I'm having to scroll quite a while down to even find him. I'm going to have to search for him. Diogo. 11.9 predicted points, and it's minutes that's the trouble. So 53 predicted minutes for Jota in each of the opening game weeks. That's the thing that's going to hold him back. So if you've got 8 million to spend on a midfielder, Madison and Bomo, Eze would be my preferred top 3. But you can also see the predictions as well. Now, in terms of these predictions, all of the tools that I'm going to show you on the stream today are available for members on Fantasy Football Hub. And you can get your membership with 50% off right now. Now, that deal is not going to last for long. So if you are interested in that, I'd get yourself signed up today, and that'll give you, you know, all the tools that you need to win your mini league this season. And they're so confident in the tools that they've even gone as far as saying, if you don't win your mini league, you'll get your money back. So it's a fantastic offer, and you might as well sign up now while it's 50% off, so that you've got everything that you need to get ready for the new season. And I'll be showing you in the stream today all the different things that you can do with it. Let's have a look what other questions we've got. Jason says, Eze or one of the Brighton midfielders? I mean, I know this is a bit hypocritical because I have got a Brighton attacker in my side, but I do worry about the Brighton attack because of the possible rotation we can get from them, because they've strengthened in the window. They needed to do that because of their European involvement. March hasn't played many minutes in pre-season. Mitoma, the worry with him is rotation now as well. So that's why I'm avoiding those Brighton options. So for me, and Bomo, if you've got 6, I'm guessing you've got 6.5 million to spend. And Bomo is top pick for me, with Eze not far behind. They're my top 2 at that price point. I think if you're going to take a punt on a Brighton attacker, you go with João Pedro. William has asked Madison and Jackson or Watkins and a 6.5 million midfielder. You see, I'm not a fan of Watkins. I know he's consistent. I just hate the fixtures. If we look at fixtures over the opening 4 game weeks, Villa are way down. They've got 3 away games in 4, including against Newcastle and Liverpool. They've also got European action after the midweek after game week 2 and the midweek after game week 3, where they've got to qualify for the UEFA Europa Conference League. It's always a mouthful, that. So I think Madison and Jackson is best there. Cav says, thoughts on Havertz or Madison over Martinelli to give me 0.5 million in the bank, differential and a bit more flexibility. Yeah, I think Madison's the one. The thing is with Martinelli is minutes again. He's the Arsenal midfielder that's going to get subbed off the most. And likewise Havertz, I'm just not convinced on his minutes either. So if you look at the Arsenal midfielders, I think Saka's obviously the obvious one. Odegaard I'm not sold on because I think he will probably play deeper with Gabriel Jesus not being an option. But it's like Saka and Odegaard are nailed on for 90 minutes. And then Martinelli's down at 70 minutes. It's just not as convincing. So yeah, Madison should be a 90-minute man when fit. So I think that's the better option to go for. Parameter says Ben White v Gabriel. Which one to choose? For me, it's Gabriel easily. Again, predicted points. He's on 16.5 over the first 4. White's on 15.8. If you compare the Arsenal defenders on their underlying stats from last season, another tool on the hub, use the link in the description to get this as well. In terms of shots, among Arsenal defenders, Gabriel was top. In terms of big chances, he was way ahead as well. XG and goals. Obviously White's a bit more creative, so 26 key passes and 7 big chances created. But when you look at expected goal involvements last season, Gabriel was not far behind White. He underperformed, whereas White overperformed. And I think it's just going to work in Gabriel's favour being a 90-minute man. I think that's really going to help him out. We've hit 200 people in the stream, so thank you to everyone that has joined so far. Make sure you're hitting that like button. We're nearly at 100 likes, which is amazing. So keep going with the likes if you haven't done so already. Champ says, should I go for Matoma or Mbomo? Mbomo would be the one I'd go for of those. Cooper asks Madison or Foden. I would go with Madison out of those two. What I need to do is I'm trying to go in order from in terms of who's left questions first, but I don't want to miss any member questions either, so I'm going to have to like jump about a bit. Sam says loves the setup and the badges. Yeah, I've upgraded all of that for members this season. Just tried to get everything looking as slick as possible. Amelia has said, I've gone Diogo Jota instead of Mo Salah. I don't think that's a compromise worth taking, you know. I see the appeal, but I don't think it's going to work for you. Kai Havertz or Martinelli? I don't like either, if I'm honest. They both feel quite short term. I think there's better options. Champ says, is it better to save money for a 4.5 goalkeeper or Onana? I mean, I've always started with a 4.5 million goalkeeper. In terms of for the predictions, it's Edison, Pope and Martinez that win out, but then Flecken is 4th on this list. I don't think there'll be a lot between Onana and the 4.5 million option, so I'd just go with the 4.5 million option. Particularly now we've got Turner as an option. He rotates really nicely with the likes of Johnston, Pickford. I can show you actually this. It's quite interesting. This might help you in choosing a goalkeeper. So we're going to look at... Let's look over the first 8 game weeks. So if I put Forest in here... Hang on. These are Forest fixtures. Now, if you compare them with Everton's fixtures, they dovetail quite nicely. So if you went with Pickford and Turner, you'd get Fulham, Sheffield United, Wolves, Sheffield United, Burnley, Brentford, Luton, Bournemouth over the first 8, which I think is nice. I don't think you can go with Steele now because De Zerbi said that he's going to share game time with Verbruggen. You can go with Johnston. So this is the combo I've got. So out of that rotation, you're going to get Sheffield United, Brentford, Wolves, Burnley, Fulham, Brentford and Nottingham Forest. I think is a nice run. The other option was to go with Flecken. This is what the Hub AI's gone for. So this rotation gets you Spurs, Sheffield United, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Burnley, Everton, Forest, Crystal Palace. And you're going to get 6 home games in that rotation over the first 6 game weeks. So there's some nice ones there. Admittedly, I've got rid of the wrong one now. The rotation with Onana also works quite nicely if you did want to spend the extra 0.5, but I don't think you need to. So you can see that on screen now as well. So plenty to think about there in terms of the options to go for. Loads of questions in. I'm just going to hop on to some member questions. Killer Rat saying I've been enjoying the hub tools. Yeah, they really are great. I know I keep saying join the hub, but honestly, the tools are fantastic. And it's not just the tools, it's everything to help you become a better manager. Member Chloe is in, nice to see you as well. Linford said, does Son become an option now? I think he does become an option. But I think Madison's just going to be so much more central. It'll be interesting to see how Spurs get on. They're going to be an attacking side. That's the style of the new manager. It would have been great to see Kane in that side. Obviously not happening now. But they are an attacking side, and there's plenty of promise there in terms of their options going forward. But I think we probably need to see them in action before backing Son. Madison at 7.5 is easy to slot in as a punt, but Son at 9, it's a bit more difficult to do that. Killerat says, Mbomo and Eze are my 1 and 2 6.5 mids, but it seems everyone is hot on Matoma. Yeah, I mean, how are we doing in terms of teams registered now? We've got 7.7 million. We've still got, what, an hour and 40 minutes to go. So there's still going to be new ones dropping in here for sure. But just in terms of the ownerships at the moment, Matoma's really highly backed. He's in 39.5% of squads. I think he's the only one of the top 5 most owned players I don't have. But Adrinja was looking really good in pre-season. De Zerbi's just going to rotate. It does make me worry about João Pedro a little bit. But I just don't know who else I'd get. I don't want to double up on Brentford with Mbomo and Vissa, so... Ivan said, who are your top 4 predictions this season? Oh, I think City will win the title again. I think United will be up there. I think Arsenal and Liverpool. I think that'll be the top 4. Linford said Stones because Ruben Diaz is injured. Yeah, we need to keep an eye on this injury news. The team news, sorry. This is why I've got this tweet deck open. I have to give it a refresh. Obviously, if you see anything, let me know. It'll be all over. So team news and ticks said potentially some early team news to keep an eye on. But I've got all the tabs open with all the journalists I know to keep an eye on things as well. David Raya is here we go by the looks of things. So that's good news. It means we can go all in on Flecken. I need to keep remembering to just hop over here. So if I've not checked in the chat for a while, just tell me to go check. Have we made it to 100 likes? 123 likes. That's phenomenal. 250 of you in. Thank you so much, guys. Keep it going. One other question. Jamie said, is it just my tweet deck that's running slow? Yes, it depends. I mean, my computer's getting pretty hot now, so I don't know if it's just me. Let's do a quick captain poll. Game week 1 captain. Haaland, other. Haaland's breaking records this season, right? 88.8% owned. Like, that is just crazy. Crazy ownership. And a lot of those are going to captain as well. Sam said, thoughts on Richarlison and Son? I'm just not sold on Richarlison. I feel like it's been such a long time since he's really been at the peak of his game. Like all that promise we saw at Watford those few seasons ago. Right? It could happen, but did he score 1 Premier League goal last season? I really hope my computer holds up, guys. I think it's just loud. It's maybe not hot. Yeah, he scored 1 Premier League goal last season. Admittedly, he didn't play loads, but he's a confidence player, isn't he? I think we need to see form before we back Richarlison. Son could be dynamite, but if Madison's going to take the set pieces and be on pens at 1.5 million cheaper, he could be the one to go for. Amelia says all the 7.5s are a minute's risk. Yeah, I've got to agree with that a little bit. Killer... Oh, gosh, I've lost my place in the chat. I have Watkins. This is from Killer. If I have Watkins, if I were to replace him, who would you take instead? I mean, the forwards are really not that great at the moment. If I was to make a top 5, I think I did post a top 5 on Twitter the other day. I'll tell you what, I might just... I'm going to find it in another tab and bring it over, I think, so that it's not looking too messy for you guys. I know I've just gone on about 20 different tabs already. But yeah, like since... I think this is why so many people are going 3-5-2, because once you've filtered out those players that are injured or have left the Premier League, there's not that many to pick from. I swear I posted a top 5 on Twitter, but I've been pretty active on Twitter in the last few days that I think it's got well buried. If I can't find it, I'll have to give up. Oh, here we go. Let me put this on here so that you can see. Because this is kind of my pool of who I'm choosing from. I've just realised that you can't see anything because I'm not on the right screen. Hang on. So this is the top 5 that I've come up with. So Haaland is top, obviously a lock. And then Watkins has got the consistency but not the fixtures. Jackson has got the fixtures, but he's unproven in the Premier League, which makes him difficult to back. Then we've got João Pedro, who's a minutes risk, but he's cheap. I think the only other name on that list that isn't on that list who could be in is Visser. But I don't like the double up of Mbomo and Visser, which is why I've not got him. But I still think he's a good option. Linford says, I'm tempted with Szoboszlai. I can't even say his name. I should have practiced this before today. It's been a long week as well. I feel like I'm like a bit wired at the moment. I think he's nailed and he's on a lot of set pieces, but he's maybe a bit deeper than you'd like for a 7 million midfielder, but one to keep an eye on. I feel like I'm going a bit blurry again. Hang on. You're going to have to keep telling me if I've gone a bit blue. I think if I drop that down, does that work? That might be better. I might be a bit green. Sorry if I am. This is the downside of using a green screen. The look's there, but it's not quite there. But I mean, I don't need to use the green screen to stream, I guess. I could just have a normal background on there. But anyway, that's not important at the minute. We've got an hour and a half to the deadline. Hopefully you find that useful though. Chloe has asked, who would be the best third defender, Henry or Colwill? Just got a notification on my phone saying Kane is due to arrive in Bayern Munich at 7 p.m. So it looks like that deal's definitely getting over the line. Best third defender, Henry or Colwill? I mean, if I was you, Chloe, I'd definitely do the AI team rating on the hub, because it allows you to flick over to subsequent game weeks to figure out where you'd flip them in. Be handy to know who your first and second defenders are. In terms of predicted points for defenders over the... I'm guessing if it's your third defender, it's someone you're playing every week, so you want them to be fairly decent. In terms of the predicted points for the 4.5 million defenders, it's Pinnock. Hang on. It's Pinnock who's first, followed by Rico Henry, but I think it's a lot closer between them, and then you've got Colwill. I think Henry's probably safer because while Colwill looks first choice at Chelsea at the moment, if Chelsea were to sign a new centre-back, which they could easily do, that might change things. Right, let's just pop over to the tweet deck then, because we're 15 minutes in. Have a look see if anything important's going on. Any team news, anything like that. I don't think there is at the moment. It's all Kane stuff still. I think we're all right. Let's head back to FPL. I'm going to put my team back on the screen so everyone can see what's going on. Make sure to like and subscribe as well, guys. Keep the support coming. I mean, I've had quite a lot of new subscribers today. I don't know if we're going to get to another milestone. I'm about to hit 20.8k. Can we be ambitious and say 21k on this stream? I mean, I don't know if it's possible or not, but we'll give it a try. I'll head back over to your questions. Sam says you should add a deadline timer. Yeah, I will look into that. I'm trying to introduce things on the stream bit by bit so that I know that I can cope with the tech. Jamie says you look fine, it's just the bit rate. All right, so Chloe said, first two defenders are Stupinan and Gabriel. Yeah, I'd go with Henry. Amory says Madison will take pens with Kane leaving, hopefully so. Lawrence has said Rashford and Madison versus Watkins and Bruno. So this is an interesting call, this one. I just think Rashford's a must-have. I really do. Obviously, that's the decision I've made in my team. Just make sure you can see all of it on your screen at the moment. It's just those opening two home games for Rashford are just irresistible to me. Wolves at home, Nottingham Forest at home. I think he can do really well in terms of those fixtures. I know Bruno's got penalties. Rashford could be playing out of position now. I think you've got to just back it. That's my thinking on that. So if that's what you're debating between, that would be the way that I would go in terms of those ones. Cayman has asked about Garnacho. I don't mind him as a differential, to be fair. Martial is out. And Højlund is out. So I think Rashford's going to play up front with Garnacho on the wing. 3 goals, 2 assists from 5 starts last season. Like, he's got masses of potential. I think for a short-term pick, he's fine. Honestly, every time, like, the sun goes in, the camera messes up. You can't see me anymore. Akshat, you haven't missed anything. I think I'm locked in. It's just a James Madison decision is the thing that I'm stuck on. I might actually put... The captain poll is very similar to Haaland's ownership, by the way. 86% are going with Captain Haaland. 13% going with other. I am interested to know, though. So let's say best mid under 7.5. So this is for my team. So I've got Madison at the moment. I can have Eze, which would give me 1 million in the bank. By the way, guys, I've never started the season with money in the bank. I think that's it. It's Madison or Eze with 1 million in the bank. Hang on. Yep, that's gone up. Paul has asked for thoughts on Cash as a 4.5 million defender benched in game week 1. Yeah, I think he's a good pick. I don't like Aston Villa's fixtures that much, which is why, you know, I would look... I'm going to have to give this a refresh. Which is why I'd look to the likes of Rico Henry or Colwill. I think they're better options at that price. But again, as I said, if you make sure you're also having a look at the My Team tool on the hub, it'll just show you how these, you know, picks can overlap. In terms of like predicted points over the first 4 game weeks, you know, you Villa players are way down the list. But just being able to see how they interlink and which weeks you'll play which players might help you to decide whether cash is right for your team. I've still gone a bit weird again, haven't I? So if we have a look at some more questions. There we go. Braden said, thoughts on Trent? I've gone off Trent. He was in all of my early drafts and I've since changed my mind. I think he's going to be deeper. I also think he's going to be on less set pieces this season. So all of that culminates in me thinking I'd rather own Salah. Akshat says, are you going without any Liverpool players? If yes, welcome to the club. No, Salah is there. He's in the middle. He's the central focus of my team with Haaland. Yeah, I know it's a weak bench. I'm fully aware it's a weak bench. I'm happy to run with it, though. If I need to do an early wild card, I do. It's not a big deal for me. I think, you know... I think when I've had my best seasons in FPL, it's when I've played an early wild card. So I wanted to maximise the funds in the 11. I'm playing my game on this one, and that was the way that I decided to go. So I'm happy with that at the moment. Jamie, this is quite an interesting comment, says, Vincent Kompany masterclass incoming. Now, this isn't something... This narrative isn't something that I'd really realised until now. But yeah, it's going to be quite a big one, isn't it? Kompany against City. Could he do something? Well, we're all on Captain Haaland, aren't we? It does make me think, oh, I don't really want to rip up my team. I can hear that my kids are home now from nursery. So if you hear some wailing in the background, then I do apologise. Eze and 1 million in the bank is winning. Eze's fixtures are nice as well. He's on all set pieces. 10 goals, 5 assists last season. It was the last 10 game weeks where he really came to the fore, though. In terms of goal involvements in the last... Was it the last 10 game weeks? Yeah, there we go. He had 8 goal involvements in the last 10 game weeks. Jamie says all aboard the Madison train, and Will says trust your gut. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna change my team now. Jamie says I prefer Eze to Mbomo personally. Yeah, I think that's another option as well, but yeah, tricky. Aksha says, who shall I go with? Pickford or Johnston have Turner to rotate with? I think Johnston, because I don't think Henderson's going to end up at Forest now because of the injury to Heaton at United. However, Forest could still sign another keeper. And then you're stuck playing Pickford every week. If you had to play Pickford every week, would you want to? If you had to pick Johnston every week, would you want to? Hopefully that'll answer your question. Alexo says, is Rashford essential? Pretty much, I would say, yeah, he is essential. I can see why people are trying to save the money. I'd love to own both of them. Just got too difficult trying to get Bruno Fernandes in as well. But, you know, really, really difficult to get them all in. However, I do think that Rashford... The thing is with Rashford, right? Let me show you again. So this is the OptaStats tool on the hub. And you can get this as a member on the hub with 50% off. And I've put the link in... I think the link's in the description to the video. It's also pinned, but I'm also putting it in the chat as well. The OptaStats tool, right? If we have a look, by home games last season, I think this is my computer is struggling. Please work. Home games last season. Haaland got the most FPL points in home games last season. Second was Rashford. He only got 18 points less than Haaland in home games last season. And 13 of his 17 goals last season came at home. So when you look at those opening fixtures for Rashford, Wolves at home, Forest at home, like, he could go absolutely crazy. Sam said, I hope the site doesn't crash today. That would just top everything off, wouldn't it? Fingers crossed for the servers. Can you hear my computer? It's like chugging. Tell me in the chat if you can. Yeah, 1 Mil Opinion says, what about Eze against Sheffield United? In the press conference, manager said that the squad is stretched for Sheffield United. Arsenal at home in game week 2 is not the worst fixture. And then it's Brentford away, Wolves at home, Villa away, Fulham at home. I mean, I'm going to stick with Mbomo, but it was a really, really close call. MD says, thoughts on Ramsdale? I would avoid him. Another post on Twitter today. If I can find it again. Right. This is quite important, actually. These are players that Ben Dinnery predicted wouldn't start in game week 1 and their ownerships. And while I think Ramsdale will start game week 1, I also think that Raya will get an opportunity at some point. And then when that happens, you're going to be forced to make a transfer, basically. Let me put my team back on screen. Because I think that's the thing that is most important. Enquire says, John Stones or Shaw? I've got to go with Stones there. I know you're kind of playing a little bit of a risk with the minutes. However, over the opening game weeks of the season, I think Man City's fixtures are better. Shaw feels like a short-term pick because of the fixtures do turn a bit for Manchester United after game week 1, and I think that's why we really need to be thinking about the other options available to us. Stones is predicted to score 18.3 points over the first 4 game weeks. Shaw, 14.2 points. So hopefully that's useful on that one. Hype Drive said Vardiol, still can't say it, or Stones. I think we need to go with Stones. I know it's tempting to save the 0.5. We will keep an eye on the any team leaks. We'll pop over onto the tweet deck / X-Pro, as it's called. See if anything's coming through. Luckily, when you've not opened it for a while, it kind of comes in slowly. One thing that did just catch my eye was... I know someone somewhere will have done some research on this as well. Kyle Walker is part of the graphics ahead of the game. I don't know whether that marries up to be that he's starting. One other thing that I've just seen. This is a great bit of analysis as well. It's going to let me load it. This is the Man City predicted lineups from Emma Jump the Wave on Twitter /X. And I think this comes in I think it's in one of the Man City forums. It gets a load of people to rank who they think is going to start. So 100% say that Edison will start. 94% for Stones. 92% for Walker. 89% for Akanji. And then it's a bit up in the air who the last pick will be. Probably between Vardiol and Ake. The other thing to think about is in midfield, it's then Silva, Rodri and Haaland all look pretty locked, with Grealish pretty high as well. Foden at 69%, Alvarez only at 44%. And this is the thing that, Akshat's just put this in the chat that we've seen going around today, is that Diaz not travelled due to some sort of concussion protocol from the Community Shield. I don't think we've had that, like, confirmed. However, it's pretty likely that it's true. But we should get more news before the deadline. Lots of people asking about Havertz as a differential. I don't love it. Interestingly now, Eze is slowly getting edged out by Madison. It's not that big a difference. And Cisse will wear the number 10 shirt for Brighton this season. Interesting. I'd say that's promising for his minutes. That Brighton attack's going to rotate, but hopefully if there's a lot of goals that they can share around, there's a few budget gems in there. Paul said, is Edison sick or out of favour? I think it's just Ortega starts in the Cups. I think he'll start tonight. Pretty sure about that. Jamie says, 15 likes to go. Show your support. We're at 278 of you watching now, which is brilliant. I'll put my team back and I'll tell you what, we'll go back over to the chat so that you can see what's going on, and I'll try and get a few more of these questions answered. As I said, it's been a long week. I've been doing like 15-hour days, so if I appear a little tired, that'll be why. There is a slight chance we might get disturbed by a small child as well, but hopefully not. Darkroom says James or Chilwell. I think Chilwell has got the better fitness record. James is now captain, could potentially be on pens, so he is an option. In terms of predicted points, there's not a lot to choose between them over the opening 4 game weeks. 16 for James, 16.4 for Chilwell, so little bit of a decision to make. James has just been a bit of an FPL troll. I've never been like a big backer of James in FPL, so I'm much happier to go with Chilwell, who's on corners, getting those advanced positions on the pitch really high up. So that would be my thoughts on that one. Akshat says, Casado U-turn to Chelsea means Trent playing as a 6. Yeah, and I think it's going to be McAllister who's going to be more of an 8. I don't think that does Trent any favours. Shamil says, why Chilwell and not Stones? I just know if Chilwell's fit, he'll start every game. Whereas I can't say the same for Stones. Stones is out of position. It's a difficult one. There's not like loads to choose between it, but just had to go with my gut on that one, and that's where I landed in terms of those two. It was, it was a tough decision to choose between them. First super chat of the stream is in from Froznone. Is Foden worth risking tonight? Well, if you stay with me, hopefully I'll be able to give you some team news at some point. However, I think even if he's in the 11 for tonight, there's no guarantees that he will be in the 11 for the next game. Obviously, Burnley away is a really nice, attractive fixture on paper, but then you look beyond that and it becomes a bit more difficult. Like Newcastle at home in game week 2 is not an easy one. And then beyond that, Sheffield United away game week 3, De Bruyne could be fully fit by then, and then you'll be thinking that you've made a bad decision. So that's why for me, I think even if we get news that Foden drops tonight, I don't think it's worth it, in my opinion. I know it's a tricky decision, but that's where I'd be at with that one. Thank you for the super chat though, really appreciate that. Muckwith says Johnston or Onana. I think just save the 0.5 and go Johnston. Elliot has asked, Mubama and Martinelli with 1 million or Eze and Watkins. Does that mean you need to play Mubama every week? Because I don't think he's nailed at all. Akshat's also asked, who will you own, a 4 million forward whose EO is more, or a 4 million forward whose EO is less? I think the potential for minutes for Mubama makes him an obvious pick. And at 12.4%, like, the price drop shouldn't be crazy anyway. We have a look at the predictions. So we're looking at forwards priced at 4.5 million. So other ones that are expected to get some minutes, we've got Osula at Sheffield United. I know they're in the market for a forward though. We've got McAtee at Luton, who blank in game week 2. Like, it's really slim pickings. I think Mubama's the best option, really. And I don't think his ownership's going to really punish you either. Paul says, do you have a plan B if you decide to transfer out Salah? Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily need a plan B particularly, but say if you went Salah down to Odegaard, you've suddenly got 4 million to spend elsewhere. Like, I've not got a plan now because we've only got pre-season data at the moment. All of that will become apparent as we go through. But yeah, when you've got the most expensive player in each position in Haaland and Salah, like, if it doesn't work out, you can literally go anywhere. So I'm not going to like get bogged down in what I should do with that now. But in terms of just straight options, who are the best options? Like, it just depends, doesn't it, at the time? It's getting really warm in here now. We've got just over an hour to the deadline. There's 270 of you watching. We've got to 200 likes, so thank you for showing your support on the stream, guys. Keep hitting the like button. I'm going to head over to this screen because I think it's just easier to see what's going on. Original Stevie says it also depends on if West Ham have gone in on a striker. Yeah. Jamie, PC doubling as a heater is fine in winter, but it's 24 degrees today and it's pretty warm in here. Will Goodfellow has said Flecken or another 4.5 million midfielder. Goalkeeper, sorry. Flecken, Johnston, Pickford, all in the frame. I think there's not a lot to pick between them, my opinion. Kafuma says is De Bruyne starting. I doubt it. I think he played 30 minutes in the Community Shield. Man City have got the Super Cup final on, I think it's Thursday, could be Wednesday, in, I don't even know where it is. I wanted to say Istanbul, but that's completely wrong. Where is the Super Cup? Greece. On Wednesday at 8 PM. And then they play Newcastle in game week 2 on Saturday evening. So that's going to affect City a little bit. The only team that have got a fixture between game week 1 and game week 2. Elliot says, can you play with Watkins, João Pedro and Haaland? Yeah, I think that's fine in a 3-4-3. I just think the 3-5-2 is stronger. DX says, imagine Haaland blanks. We're all going to blame you for jinxing it now. Oh, no, I think he can't blank, can he? It's not going to happen. I don't think so, anyway. Ben says, I need your help. Salah and João Pedro or Martinelli and Rashford? I don't like Martinelli as a pick. But to go without Rashford, I think if you can't get Salah in, if you can't find a way to have Salah and Rashford in your team, then you need to go with Rashford. Yusuf has asked Stones or an extra Arsenal defender. I think I'd go Stones in that case. Muckwith's best 4.5 million defender for the bench. I think one of the Brentford guys, Henry or Pinnock, is fine in that case. Saba says Eze or Mbomo, and Stones or Chilwell. Eze and Mbomo is a close call. I've gone with Mbomo just based on the fixtures. And I've lost your comment now. Stones or Chilwell, again, a really close call. This time I've gone with the minutes and the consistency. David says Zinchenko via Stupid, and I don't know if Zinchenko starts. I think Timber will be first choice at left back for a little bit. Zinchenko's had a little injury. He's expected to be back in the squad, but in terms of starting, I don't think so. Quinton says Chukwuemeka or Anderson. I think Chucky is the one. If you want a 4.5 million midfielder, I think that would be the one that I'd go for now. There's a few options in there, but I think he's probably the best option to go with. I don't know if it's hot where you guys are, but I'm absolutely roasting now. Must be the pressure. We've got 1 hour and 4 minutes until the deadline. What is going on the tweet deck? Got a little prayer circle from official FPL. Kevin De Bruyne's giving out iPhones. So is that really going to help us with our FPL decisions? Oh dear. One of the Chelsea pundits is wanting to double up on Chelsea fullbacks. It looks like Poch is a big fan of Reece James. I mean, we can all be big fans though, but we need him to be fit, don't we? All the time. So it looks like even if Raya is an Arsenal player for game week 1, he's not going to have been registered in time to start the season, which is interesting. So that helps Ramsdale owners out this week, but stay away from the Arsenal goalkeeper slot is my advice. Kevin De Bruyne has gifted 26 specially commissioned iPhones to his Man City teammates. They've been out partying last night. I mean, they're smart. If you're a City fan, anyway. Yeah, I don't think we're missing anything important at the minute in terms of any leaks. Chuck, we don't know about how many minutes he'll get yet, but with Nkunku injured, Chelsea haven't got that many options to play that number 10 role. Elliot has asked what my thoughts on João Pedro, Watkins and Haaland. I think that's a strong front three if you're going 3-4-3. Paul's telling me about his aircon that it's not helping me, Paul. It's not going to cool me down in this instance. I need to get a better chair, I think. I think it's making me hot. Keep the questions coming, guys. We've got an hour. Or an hour and 2 minutes. So plenty of time to get locked in with our teams. Keith's asking me about Luton players, and I think Cabore's fine as a bench player, but given that Luton were the playoff winners and blanking game week 2, I don't think you can get too heavily invested in them at the moment. Stuart has asked Saliba or Gabriel. I think you go Gabriel. More goal threat, which definitely helps in terms of picking the best options. We want someone that's going to get the goals. And that is who you need to go for. I mean, it's not going to happen every game, is it? But if you want to be playing the odds and in the mix, that's where you need to be going in terms of the best options. Server says, can you go change Madison? Oh, it's 57% have said Eze. I feel a bit committed though with Madison now. I think Eze will do really well game week 1. I'm just not sure about game week 2, game week 3. By game week 4, I could have him in anyway in a different position. Shall I have a look at Madison's fixtures again? Let me reset this because I don't want to mess it up. I don't like Madison still being in Leicestershire. Should have changed the pictures already. Opening 2 are a bit tricky, aren't they, for Spurs? But then it's really nice 3, 4, 5. You could easily go to Madison game week 3. Jamie says Eze is worst players around him. Yeah, that's true. Braden says, thoughts on Triple Brighton? I think you're heading for a lot of frustration and a lot of rotation. Gino says, do you intend to captain Salah in game week 2 over Haaland? Probably not, no. This is another interesting thing on Fantasy Football Hub predicted points. Let me give it a refresh. Game week 1, obviously, Haaland on 8.2 v Salah at 6.5. And then game week 2, Haaland 8.1 v Salah on a 7.3. So I think Haaland's probably the better captain picking game week 2. That was a 9-0 fixture last season, wasn't it? Liverpool absolutely smashed Bournemouth 9-0 and Salah got no attacking returns. Hype drive, exactly an hour to the deadline. Here we go. I'm excited. Paolo's asking about Dallo or Wan-Bissaka. For me, I think you avoid because we don't know which one's going to start. I think if you want a piece of the Man United defence, I think you just go with Onana. Why is Henderson flagged? Oh, he's not actually fully fit. Chloe's asked to ask her question regarding Rashford. Have I missed it? I thought I'd answered it, Chloe. Maybe I did miss it. Oh, here we go. There's only 2 ways for me to bring in Rashford. Madison down to Eze or Jackson down to Pedro. Depends on your appetite. I think both of those are fine. If you've got Chilwell in your side, then maybe go for the Eze move. It really is a 50-50. If we look at these tools, hopefully this will make it easier for you. So Jackson down to João Pedro over the first 4 game weeks is a difference of 4.5 points. Madison down to Eze in the midfield is 1.4 points. Not got Chilwell since I went for Henry. Maybe go Jackson then. Rico Lewis starts according to the chat. Does that mean Walker doesn't? I literally just said, didn't I? Oh, that's just City Extra. So that's a prediction. Kovacic to start. Gvardiol's debut, Bernardo Silva on the right. Oh, I really feel sorry for anyone that's going to back this City team without having all the info. I'm just trying to find if anyone's actually like fully like tweeted it out. And we'll keep the tweet deck open. It was on another popular FPL stream apparently. Thing is, if you're on this stream, you're probably going to get your question answered because it's a little bit quieter. Don't leave me though. You won't leave me, will you guys? Yeah. There's not been a lot posted on Twitter yet. That Rico Lewis is a bit of a curveball though. Let's see what City Extra say. Is this going to give us a predicted 11? Edison, Akanji... Akanji, Stones, Ake, Rodri, De Bruyne, Kovacic. Yeah, I don't think that's right, that one. I think that's just a prediction. But this Rico Lewis potential news. Can't see anything yet. Let's just keep an eye on it. We'll keep going back to the tweet deck. We're almost at 250 likes, apparently. You guys are smashing it. Keep hitting the button. Show your support for the channel. Back on some questions then. Mbappe is in the chat. Who to start? Pedro or Alvarez? I think João Pedro. Josh says Stones or Chilwell. Chilwell for me, but it's a close call. Quinton, I think if you've got the funds for a 4.5 million defender as you've like first sub, that's absolutely fine. Hans says Jackson and a 6.5 mid or Madison and João Pedro. You see, this is, gosh, the sun's gone in again and now everything's messed up. Hang on. Let me just get this filter right. Let's bump it up. That's better. Have we fixed it? Is that better? Who knows? Let me try something else. Is that better? I give up. It might just have to stay as it is. I'll just have to be a bit blurry. I might not bother with the green screen. I think that's the moral of the story. The thing for me with this, right? If I could get Jackson and a 6.5 mid in, this is the team that I tried to build. Hang on, I've got the filters wrong now. If it was a 100.5 million budget, that would be my team. However, I couldn't do that. So that's why I've gone for the other option. But I think Jackson and Eze is better than Madison and Pedro. It just costs 0.5 million more, and that's why I've not got it, and that's why I needed to check it. Interesting question from Yusuf, someone that I've not seen and mentioned yet. Thoughts on Bowen? I think he's a good pick. He's the talisman of the team. It's just the fixtures are... they're not amazing for West Ham. I mean, Bournemouth away game week 1, I think is fine. It's Chelsea at home game week 2, Brighton away game week 3, and then City and Liverpool 5 and 6. If we look at the fixture ticker. Uh-oh. We won't look at the fixture ticker. But if you look at the fixture ticker, West Ham were way down on it. Let's go back over to the stream and the team so you know where we are with it. I think when we went live, there was 7.5 million teams registered. There's now 7.8 million. I'm trying to get all my family into a mini league. You know, by the way, my mini league code is there, queyct. If you're not in already, I looked earlier today and there was like 30,000 people in. I'm trying to get my family into a league, and they're getting in there now. I had to bully them into it earlier. Yesterday, they were like, oh yeah, we'll join. Don't know anything about FPL. In fact, my sister sent me a draft, and I didn't even know who half of the players in her team were. That's how bad it was. Sorry if you're watching. Still keeping an eye on this these potential leaks. Nothing through at the moment though. I think the closer we get to the deadline, the happier I am with my team. So that's one thing. We've hit 250 likes, guys, which is amazing. United said, what about Visser? He's better than Mbomo. Mbomo is a midfielder, so he gets more points for his goals, and he's also on penalties and set pieces. So that's why I've gone Mbomo. I mean, I could... Would that work? Hang on. No, that wouldn't work. I was going to say I could get Eze and Mbomo. Yeah, I could go Madison down to Eze and get Visser up front, but I don't think I want to. I'm just not... just don't feel like it's worth the funds. I don't really want to have, you know, so many eggs in one basket when it comes to that. I'm just going to put the invite link for the league into the... Hang on, don't want to do that. Into the chat so that if anyone hasn't joined yet, they can do. If anyone's not in, you should be in. Right, back onto your questions then. Ignas says, what do you think of Gakpo? He was in my first draft. However, I've since decided that he's not the one to go for. I think it's just there's so much rotation that we're expecting in that Liverpool front line. I think Salah's locked, but then you look at the other options. I think Gakpo and Diaz will share minutes, as will Jota and Nunes. So it's a real big challenge. I know this is going to be a little bit ambitious, guys, but I'm only like 100, just over 100 subs off 21k subs. So if you're watching and you've not subscribed, please subscribe, because it would be amazing to get there before the Game Week 1 deadline. I mean, it is ambitious in 45 minutes to get 100 new subs, but it's been going up pretty quickly today, so I have got hopes. Right, we have some team news. I've seen somewhere that Foden and De Bruyne start. This is from Lazy FPL. Are they good guys, these? So I do trust this news. We're going all in. Foden and De Bruyne are starting. They were the guys that dropped the news. on, I think it was on Game Week 38, they dropped the news that Haaland wasn't going to start. So Foden starts, De Bruyne starts. I'm surprised by that. I am actually really surprised. I didn't think that... Can I move that across? Can you see that? You can see that, can't you? I feel like I need to put it on big letters. But I don't know how to. Yeah, Foden and De Bruyne start. I'm really, really surprised that De Bruyne starts. I thought, because he only played those 30 minutes in the Community Shield, that is a curveball. It's a real big curveball. Foden and De Bruyne start. Wow. I think that news is pretty legit, guys. Because I mean, if you're not subbed to the Lazy FPL newsletter, please do, because it's fantastic. But yeah, that's big news. If it's true, which I think it is. I'm going to put my neck on the line. We've got the early team news. We'll probably get it backed up, but I'm pretty sure that that's going to be true. I might actually... This might actually kill my computer off for good, but I'm just going to open a WhatsApp. Does that change anyone's thinking? Let me know. Are you going to make changes based off that? What are your thoughts? It's pretty big. Pretty big news. Right, am I going to get my WhatsApp to open? Because that would be useful without crashing my computer. If I go now, then I probably would cry. 45 minutes till the deadline. FPL Twitter, I go with it. I actually just need to retweet that as well, guys, because the Lazy FPL guys are legends, by the way. I think somewhere, again, if I can do this without crashing my PC, they've got a fantastic newsletter which comes out every week, absolutely free. All you need to do is sign up, and I've got a little link as well. Killer Art says, I have Watkins. Should I replace him? No. I think you just got to weigh up the options. He's an okay option. There are other options to consider. Oh, we've got more news. Alvarez starts, no Stones, or Gavaridol. Right. Oh gosh, this news is going crazy. Right. City, I need to put this somewhere, don't I? My PC is not coping. You might just need to bear with me a second while I get all of this on, because what I want to do is be able to give you all the info in one place. I'll tell you what, I've got an idea. Let me just screenshot that. And we'll pop it in, because this is what... No, there was nothing about Haaland. Do not panic about Haaland. Right, if I can put that screenshot on here. Hang on. We're getting there. Properties. Browse. This is from a group, the Lazy FPL group chat that I'm in, that have come up absolute great guns. Now, am I still here? My PC is not loving this. It's absolutely falling out with me now. This is important. We've got injury news. We've got team news. Gosh, this changes everything. Right. Has that worked? Does that work? So this is what I've got from the Lazy FPL group chat. Now, you have to be a member for this. However, this is the news. Foden and De Bruyne start. Alvarez starts. No Stones or Gvardiol. What do we think? It's carnage. I mean, I've not got Stones in my team, so I'm not, like, really worried about this. Like, it doesn't affect me too much, but it's pretty big news. I do trust these guys as well, honestly. They're great. That's crazy. There's nothing wrong with Haaland. Sorry, I probably ought to cover up. I'm just thinking, I've dropped this news in, haven't I? And it's got people's numbers on, so I probably ought to cover that up if I'm being a responsible content creator. I think if I do too much more on my PC though, it's gonna go crazy. Oh, what is happening? I mean, we've still got time, guys, haven't we? We've still got time. Let me just cover these up because it's not really fair, is it? Cover overlay. What are we thinking? I'm gonna have to give up on that, else it's just gonna kill my PC. That is huge news, like huge news. Like, I was expecting City team news to be interesting, but I wasn't expecting it to like literally break the game as much as that. But we've got it. I've got it on the stream. This is why we're here, to give you all the info so that you can get prepped for game week 1. Like, I literally don't know how to react to that. It's blown my mind. Like, no Stones. Right. And sorry, I need to take this down, don't I? Let's put that back up for now. Let me just get rid of the numbers and then I'll put it back on. Hopefully without crashing the PC. I was trying to do it on Photoshop and it was not liking it. However, I think I can just cover it up elsewhere. There we go. Sorry, this looks awful, but it's better than having people's numbers on screen. Right. There we go. Close it. Is that saved? Oh, sorry. I think that should work now. Yes. Right. We're sorted. We're not giving away anyone's personal information. We've got the team news up. I mean, I should imagine it's absolutely gone off on Twitter now. Like, that is crazy. Crazy team news. Right, Stones owners, let's focus on you guys, because this is... I'm just going to check, actually, who's most owned, because this is going to be quite important in terms of what to do now. I just want to give you guys the best advice. I mean, advice number 1, Pep Roulette is real. This is the sort of stuff that we've got to deal with week on week. So if you've got those players in your team, this is the issue. John Stones is in 31.2% of squads, and he doesn't start. That is crazy. The professor's just going to have his numbers leaked. The professor will not mind, I can tell you that much. If he's on the stream... You think I should get rid of the professor as well? You guys. Right. Let's cover it up then. I mean, I should have gone with a more FPL friendly colour scheme, shouldn't I? Hang on. I can tell you now, I could ring the professor now and the professor would say, it's okay, I don't mind having my number on the stream. However, we'll be responsible. Right, close it. There we go. Honestly, I wasn't expecting it to be this bad. I mean, it's carnage, isn't it? It's absolute carnage. So, as I was saying, De Bruyne is a serious option now. If he's fit for game week 1, I mean, he might not get 60 minutes. However, if he's still fit for game week 1, he's an option. De Bruyne's been nowhere near my team because I didn't think he'd be an option at the start of the season. But now he is an option. That's big. Do we need to get De Bruyne in? I don't know. I think I've actually lost the plot. This is at the point in the week where I think I should have had more sleep in the last week. Right. I mean, right, I don't know how big De Bruyne's ownership was before, but it's now at 16.7%. Like, that is crazy. It's going up. It is on the up. Foden's ownership is also going up. I feel stressed. I don't even have any of these players in my team and I feel stressed. Jim's saying take out Salah, go De Bruyne. Thing is, we're going to have this issue every week. We've got the Super Cup before game week 2. I think all this is saying to me is City assets are rotation risks. And for that reason, we need to avoid them. So if you've got... I mean, I think no Stones is the biggest one, isn't it? I think if you haven't got Stones, at that point... Who are the options? For me, defenders are Stupinan, Gabriel, Chilwell, Reece James. I wonder who starts. That's what we want to know. If Stones isn't starting, who is starting? At least we've got the news. We've got the news. That's the main thing. I think the conclusion is you can't trust Pep. Oh dear. It's just gone crazy. Right, at least I've got the team news for you though, guys. Shall I leave it on the screen? Like, I can keep opening the tweet deck. I'll tell you what, I'll keep this open because I think this is more important than anything else. But obviously if we get any more leaks, then I'll put them on as well. It's just wild. Oh my god. Curveball. I really feel sorry for anyone that wasn't set on that team because this is just absolutely blown everything else out of the water. I was not expecting it to be that bad. It's really, really quite bad. But news is news. And we've got to trust the trust the news. It's going to be spot on, guys. Do not worry. This news is... It is what it is. I'm not going to make any changes to my team, though, I don't think. I think I'm happy with where I am. I think it just means that we know that City options are going to punish us. They really are. Has the FPL website crashed? Oh no, it's working. It's working. Right. Half an hour to go till the deadline. I'm freaking out. 7.9 million teams registered now. It is going off. Keep hitting the subscribe button, guys. I'm still hoping to hit that target. I've brought you this early team news. I've got it on screen. We've got to 20.9. I need 100 more subs in half an hour. So keep sending people this way. Tell them Holly's got the team news. I'm answering your questions. Right, Akshat said, my defence is Stones, Gabriel, Estupiñán, Chilwell and Baldock. Is subbing Stones to Chilwell a good idea, or should I replace Stones? I've got 6 million if I take someone out. Yeah, I think I would get rid of Stones. That's the conclusion. I think just stay away from City defence. Have some money in the bank. Move the money to a different position. I mean, if you're playing 3 at the back, Gabriel, Estupiñán and Chilwell is the way to go anyway. In terms of having an extra option in there, I do like, you know, the Brentford defenders. I think if you was really wanting to spend the funds as a luxury move, you could go with Reece James and double up. That's the only thing I would say. But, you know, it's a close call. Keep the questions coming, guys. I'll do my best to get through as many as I can. Nuno says, are there rumours that Rico Lewis starts? Yes, there are. Walker, Kanji, Rico and Kovacic and Rodri in the middle. Billy says change of captain. No, Haaland captain is the way to go. I think it's just a single City player now. Hang on, have we got some more news? Oh. Every time I get news, I worry that my PC is just going to give up on me. Oh, leaked lineups is coming on Instagram in 15 minutes. Right, this is... Obviously, we've got the leaks so far, but when leaked lineups turns up on Instagram in 15 minutes' time, we're going to have... He will have the confirmed 11. The starting 11 for City. The full 11. You know it's just going to be something that trolls. Just be careful where you are when you're listening to that, by the way. That's all I would say. But yeah, that will give us the confirmed City 11 if that helps anyone. But I just feel like you just need to steer clear now. We've got the news. This is going to be the same week in, week out. Pep's going to troll us. You're going to wish that you hadn't trusted him. It's just going to frustrate. So you've just got to be mindful of that. This just shows us what Pep does. Oh my God. Right. Keep the questions coming. I'm going to just make sure that I've got all the injury news coming for you as well. Chuck says potential Stones replacements. I think Chilwell, Gabriel, Estupiñán is the best front three. Chloe's locked. Johnston, Henry, Estupiñán, Gabriel. No Chilwell, interestingly. And Bomo, Saka, Salah, Rashford, Eze, Haaland, Jackson. Really nice team, that. Akshat says best 4.5 million defender. I think Rico Henry, Ethan Pinnock, both at Brentford. Nice picks. Colwill, probably a nice pick as well. Is Jackson starting? He should do. I'd expect that to happen. Killerat says, how about Shaw? Yeah, I think Shaw's fine first 3 game weeks. Hopefully get a couple of clean sheets in there, as long as you've got an option to move to someone else at some point. I think that's absolutely fine. I think if you had, like, Stones... I think Gabriel, Estupiñán and Chilwell, and if you want a 4th decent defender, then you're looking at James, Shaw, or whether you go down to a 4.5. I don't think there's anyone else at 5 that's appealing, and you don't want him on your bench. George is asking leaks. Yeah, you can see the leaks, right? This is confirmed. Everyone can see. I'm worried now that George has asked leaks. Yeah, this is it. Foden and De Bruyne start. Alvarez starts. No Stones. That's the big news. I'm just going to have a look, actually. I know you can't see this now. City aren't the early kickoff again in any of the next scheduled games through the rest of the month, but this is just absolute carnage, isn't it? My captain is Haaland. Shane has asked Foden and Pedro or Matoma and Alvarez. Foden and Pedro, I think, on that one. Isaac said, I thought no Alvarez. No, Alvarez definitely starts. It's going off. We'll know the full 11 in 10 minutes. Leaked lineups as posted in 11. So it's Edison, Walker, Akanji, Ake, Lewis, Rodri, Silva, De Bruyne, Foden, Grealish, Haaland. It'll be interesting to see how the ownerships have changed. I'll wait till leaked lineups on Instagram confirms, because I don't want to share any information with you guys that isn't accurate, because I don't think that would be fair. Crikey. This is huge. I want to just see. The FPL website is still up, that, guys. I just want to see. We've now got... We're 50,000 teams off 8 million for game week 1, which is a record. I just want to see how the City ownership's changed as well. Haaland's ownership 89% now. That's absolutely crazy. Like, it's like on another level to anything we've seen before in terms of the ownerships. Dear me. Like, that City defence seems weak though, doesn't it? Killer Rat says, I'm very happy you shared the leak. This is what I'm here for, guys. I said that I'd bring you the leaks. We've got 350 of you in now, which is crazy. Like, so much support on the channel. I need 83 new subs to get to 21k for game week 1. So if you are around and you can help out, go for it. Click away. Haaland's expected to start. I will, in 8 minutes, I'll have the proper, like, full-on news. Lots pivoting to Shaw, interestingly. It's going to be every week. This is why you can't go with these City players. Amelia says Chilwell or Baldock. I think if that's the start, it's Chilwell. Every time. The sun's coming out again. Have I turned green again? Can't keep up. Varying weather. We're 100 minutes into the stream now as well. I think we've gone through quite a lot of range of emotions already. I'm now 75 subs away from 21k if you want to do the honours. Love it. My subscribe button isn't even working because I've just got the leak on screen. FPL page has crashed, has it? It's still working for me. Payton has said João Pedro and Mbomo or Watkins and Baldock. It depends if that's a Baldock to start. If so, I'd say João Pedro and Mbomo. Gorsey says Chilwell or Van Dijk. I think Van Dijk is the one. If Caicedo had gone to Liverpool, then I think Van Dijk would be a little bit appealing. But I think Robertson's not far off. But yeah, Chilwell just offers so much more, doesn't he? Right, we've got the team sheet. Hang on, let me get this for you. This is even better. I need to get it in a way that you can see it. I'm going to have to cover up the number as well. It's coming, guys. I'm working as fast as I can here without disclosing any personal information. Right, there we go. Get that closed. Right. Hang on, it's coming. That's the one. Sorry, this doesn't look that pretty, does it? In terms of sizing. Right, that is the City 11, okay? So Edison, Walker, Lewis, Ake, Akanji. So I should imagine Lewis is moving up into the midfield. And then we've got Rodri, and then Silva, De Bruyne, Alvarez, Foden, Haaland. So no Grealish either. So Stones isn't in the squad. Vardiola's on the bench, as is Kovacic and Grealish. But that is it. That is the Man City team sheet for tonight. I've delivered the goods, guys. I promised you I would get this information, and it is in. My guys at Lazy FPL have come up absolute trumps. So they're getting all the credit for this. I actually paid. They did say I could have a free membership. Basically, their newsletter's free, but they also do. The professor has this like special extra bit where it like gives you bonus content that you can pay for. And they did say I could have a free one, but it's that good that I was like, no, I'm paying for this. And they've delivered the goods with the leaks. So I have put this in the chat to subscribe. You honestly should. I think they're close to getting 30,000. They've probably reached it already now. They're close to getting 30,000 subs on this newsletter. And, you know, if you're not a paid member yet, go for that as well. I've gone a bit more blurry again. Have I fixed it? I fixed it. Takalo says, what happened to the official FPL show? It's back. It was back today. Sam has gone for Shaw instead of Stones. FPL website crashes when trying to make transfers. Uh-oh, it is all happening. I'm not going to try making a transfer just to see what happens. I don't think that would be wise. It's absolutely crazy. Everyone's quoting Lazy FPL now. Show the guys some love, though. Anyone that can't make transfers, that's awful. Not being able to prep. But hopefully you're finding this useful. I feel like I've not had time to answer many questions, but I've got the info. Still about, if you, honestly, if this team news has helped you out, please subscribe. I'm 66 subscribers away from 21k. Like, to get to 21k pre-deadline would be amazing. So tell your friends. Say, Holly's got the early team news. Go check out her stream. They've not even posted this on Twitter, so this is exclusive info that I'm giving you now. Akshat says, Stones to Shaw, is it a good move? Yep, it is. Sam says, keep calm and don't pick any City defenders. It's a Haaland or bust. That's what we've got to. Killerat says you're doing a top job. Well, thank you. I wasn't expecting it to be as bad as this, if I'm honest. It's worse. I feel like I need another week. I mean, I've not tried doing anything on the FPL site, but has it actually crashed? I don't want to make a move and then it crash. Not be able to change it back. Let me just, Put my team back on. This is the team, by the way. No changes. Johnston in goal with Turner. Estupin and Gabriel Chilwell. And Bomo, Salah, Saka, Rashford, Madison, João Pedro, Haaland, captain. The bench, Turner, Baldock, Kabore, Mubama. It looks like I could be locked. If the website isn't working. It hasn't. Not crashing until you make transfers. The site is slow. Have to click it a couple of... By the way, though, guys, if the site's gone down, the FPL site, you can always go and try and make your moves on the app. I've found before when the website's failed, the app hasn't missed a beat. So just a little bit of advice. I can see all the locked-in teams coming in now. Obviously with no Stones in them. That's a surprise. Or not. This is the bench, so it looks like Stones isn't in the squad altogether. Palmer's a sub, Grealish is a sub, Kovacic and a new signing, Guardiol are all subs. Sam says use the app. Killer Rat says it's crashed, I can't make changes. Oh, Joseph's in. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Thank you for joining. How are we doing on the subs? Are we going to make it? Let me put it on screen if I can find it. Get the right link. We'll give it a quick plug. We need to get this up. We're wanting to get to 21,000. Like, it would be so frustrating to miss out by like 50 subs. So if you're here and you're enjoying the content and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. There's a bit of a delay on the stream, so that means that I talk about it and nothing happens, and then suddenly it starts going uploads. But yeah, really appreciate the support, especially when I've given you all this early team news. Like, it will make me happier than anything else. May even treat myself to a gin tonight. Killer Rat says the app's crashing as well. Oh no. What a nightmare. Oh dear. We're getting close though, aren't we? We're getting close. There's just so much going on. I want to keep checking that the website's live. Oh dear. Like, I honestly did not think it'd be as bad as this. The website is very, very slow now, guys. There's about 9,000 accounts off getting to 8 million teams for game week 1, which is crazy as well in itself. James said, got transfers done on the app. Isaac says the app isn't crashing, it's just very slow. So if you've not... I mean, obviously you need to have the app downloaded for that to even be an option. But, you know, if that is an option for you and you can get on the app and go through that, that's going to help, obviously. Nishant said, is Dallo a good shout? He's going to share minutes with Wan-Bissaka. Shay says, is Stone starting? No, the City 11 on the screen. Oh, I've lost the plot. It is the 11, okay? That is the 11. Stones is not in the squad. I do not know why. I can keep looking on Twitter, but that is the squad. And by the way, my team hasn't changed. It's still the same as it always has been for the last week. So there you go on that one. We're getting there on the subs, guys. We're 43 off now. I think I saw something like, I don't know, 60% of people that watch my content don't subscribe. Killer Rat says it came up with unknown error when I tried on the app. Ticketarian says, should I change Salah to De Bruyne? I wouldn't do it. I don't think it's worth it to make that move. Especially if it's the Super Cup next week. That's probably see more rotation. This is my side. So maybe a bit different to most is I've gone with Salah. Haaland captain, Rashford vice captain. João Pedro was the punt to afford it all. Stones is still 31% owned. I mean, you'll get over it, especially because there's some good bench options. 31.3% owned is a bit mental though, isn't it? Do you know what? I just think it's not updating. Like that number of, oh, we're on 8 million teams. There we go. He's dropped now. Still 30% owned is pretty crazy though, isn't it? Let me put the lineup back on for you guys so that you can see what's going on. 37 more subs. 10 minutes. Can I do it? Help me along. Saba says, I've got Eze. Shall I change to Mbomo? It's a 50-50. You've got to follow your gut, that one. Sean said if Pedro's a rotation risk. He is, but he's a risk that I'm willing to take. I've not got news on whether Trossard starts. I've only got news on the games that are today, which is a City game. Unfortunately. Is the site still working? That's the question. 8 million teams for the start of the season is pretty crazy. Nine minutes to go. Like, if the website's held up, that's phenomenal effort, to be fair to it. I think the hub's back live as well. So that's an interesting one as well. I wonder what the AI team says now. Probably not as good as we'd hope. Killer Rat says, I still think Foden is a risk, but no risk, no reward. If Foden delivers for you tonight, you deserve every point. You honestly do. Come on then, guys. Do your thing. We've got 8 minutes to go. Just a little push over. Is that the site's crashed again? Don't let pet roulette tempt you. You may regret it. Yeah. The team news that we've got is pretty final, you know, guys. Basically, the 11s need to be in for the press with 15 minutes till the deadline. So that basically means that these are the 11s. They're not going to change now. We've all seen the leak, though, haven't we? Let me put my team on. We've got 7 minutes to go to the deadline. I don't know the Burnley lineup. I mean, I could go look for it for you, but is it going to be that useful? Who's picking Burnley players? The FPL website's actually crashed. I'm not going to... Yeah. Oh, no. It's very, very slow. This is why you've got to lock in early. You've got to commit. Once you're in, that is it. Morgan says, how much is Rico Lewis? He's going to get rotated, though. Again, not really an option long term. 4.5 million. Vijay says Burnley are no mugs. Yeah, I think the whole narrative behind Company, I think it's going to be an interesting one. Decalo says Matoma or Mbomo. I would go with Mbomo. Do I think Foden will be subbed early? Yeah, probably. But, you know, those managers that are going with Foden know the risks. 29 more subs, guys, to 21k. I mean, I don't quite know what I'm going to do if I get there. I'm sure you guys will have a plan for me. Akshat's saying that FPL Andy's saying Gabriel is injured. Well, I think it's too late for my team now. Even if I tried to make a transfer, I don't think I'd be able to. Look, we've lost it. Ah, it's back. Let's see, any more leaks? Harry Kane landed in Munich. It's not really the info we've got. Oh dear. I don't know if there's any, if that Gabriel thing's true or not. If we don't know, we don't know, do we? I'm not seeing any leaks on Twitter. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. I think you just... People are changing. Oh dear. It's like our defences are in flames. It's really... I don't know whether there's truth in that leak or not. Absolutely no idea. It's up to you whether you go for it or not. Am I going to go with it? It's rumours. When do Arsenal play? Tomorrow, early kick-off. Don't know. Feels a bit early to me. I don't think I'm going to react to that one. I may regret it. I've got a first sub. We're 3 minutes out. You can't react to every rumour. I mean, Andy wouldn't put it in his stream unless he was fairly confident, but given we know nothing, he played 38 games last season. It could just be something minor. He's not a player that has loads of lengthy layoffs. I think I'm just going to stick with it. Oh dear. People are changing. I don't know whether... I don't think I will. To be honest, I'm struggling to think straight now. Lots going Saliba in. Too late for me on Gabriel. Well, what will be will be. I think that's going to be me. We're 2 minutes out from the deadline. I'm very reluctant to change anything now. Yeah. Hang on. We're close. We really are close. Help me over the line. We've got 2 minutes to do it. I don't know whether we will or not. I don't even know if anyone's still tuning in. This stream has been all over the place trying to get all the info. Hackshat says defenders in FPL are a shambles. That's absolutely true. Are we going to do a countdown? I don't know whether the Gabriel rumours are true or not. However, I'm just going to roll with the team that I've got. I don't think you'd even get transfers through now anyway. It's never going to be FPL back if you've not got the stress of players being injured. Oh. Everyone's going Gabriel to Saliba. I'm just leaving it. I'll probably regret it. But, you know, we've got to just go for it now. I'm absolutely baked, by the way, so I'm pleased that we're nearly at the deadline. Even if one of my defenders is injured. Who knows? Who knows what it is? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is it. The deadline has gone. This is my team. We're rolling with it. We'll see what happens. It's a big night ahead. Haaland is my captain. Big news from the City lineup. We got the leak. We've got to just see what happens now. We've got 8 million players in FPL for the deadline. It's going to be a huge season ahead. I don't think we quite made it to 21k, but it doesn't matter. I'm just pleased that you've all come along to watch me today. 2 streams in one day. It's been a huge task with all the pre-season content. So everyone that supported, you know, I'm very relieved that you've enjoyed the content on the channel this pre-season. It's, you know, all the support that I've had from you just makes it all worthwhile. So thank you to everyone that's joined on the journey. And this is just the start, a big season ahead on the content. So really just thank you, everyone. I hope you can continue to support me through the season. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to finish it there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more videos on Monday for Game Week 2. I really hope that everyone has a good opening weekend. I don't know whether they will or not with all these rumours flying about, but we've prepped as best as we can. You all deserve lots of luck. Thank you so much. Good luck for FPL Game Week 1.